Welcome back, folks, to another round of economic mayhem, starring the Trump administration in its second term. If you thought the first 4 years were a roller coaster, this time it's a full-blown demolition derby. From reckless spending to tariff tantrums. Let's break down how this administration fumbled the economy like a quarterback with buttered gloves. First quarter, the inflation blitz. Right out of the gate, the economy took a hard hit as inflation ran rampant. Despite promising to fix Bidenflation, Trump's policies only poured gasoline on the fire. More tax cuts for corporations? Check. Reckless spending on pet projects? Check. Meanwhile, everyday Americans were watching their grocery bills rise like a rookie kicker's missed field goal. The administration's response? Blame the Federal Reserve, China, and, of course, the radical left. But pointing fingers doesn't pay the rent, and Americans were feeling the squeeze. Second quarter, the tariff wars, part 2. If Trump loved one thing more than a packed rally, it was a good trade war. Despite warnings from economists, he doubled down on tariffs, reigniting tensions with China, Europe, and even Canada. The result? Prices on imported goods skyrocketed, American farmers lost key markets, and manufacturing took a hit harder than a quarterback sacked by a defensive line. Small businesses, already struggling under rising costs, found themselves in an economic chokehold. Trump, ever the showman, assured everyone that we are winning bigly, even as U.S. exports collapsed. And supply chains crumbled. Halftime show, the stock market stunt. In an attempt to distract from the chaos, the administration went all in on the stock market, touting every temporary rally as proof that the economy has never been stronger. But beneath the surface, corporate buybacks and speculative bubbles made the market more fragile than ever. As Wall Street boomed and Main Street suffered, everyday Americans realized they weren't invited to the party. The rich got richer, wages stagnated, and the gap between the ultra-wealthy and the working class grew into a financial Grand Canyon. Third quarter, the national debt Hail Mary. Remember when Republicans claimed to care about the national debt? Turns out that only applied to Democratic presidents. Under Trump's second term, deficit spending soared to unprecedented levels, with trillion-dollar budgets becoming the norm. Tax revenues couldn't keep up, and the government was forced to borrow at historic levels. The administration's solution? Print more money, call it a stimulus, and pretend deficits didn't matter. Conservative economists watched in horror as fiscal responsibility was buried deeper than a bad draft pick's career. Fourth quarter, the recession fumble. With inflation raging, the stock market cracking, and consumer confidence plummeting, the inevitable happened: recession. Unemployment surged as businesses folded under the weight of rising costs. The housing market collapsed under the strain of skyrocketing mortgage rates. The dollar weakened on the global stage, and international investors started looking elsewhere. Trump, never one to admit defeat, dismissed the crisis as fake news and promised the greatest comeback in history. But no amount of tweets or speeches could reverse the damage. Final score: economy 0, Trump 1, because he always declares victory anyway. As the administration's term came to an end, historians debated whether this was sheer incompetence or a masterclass in economic self-destruction. One thing was clear: the economy had been left in shambles, and someone else would have to clean up the mess. And with that, folks, we wrap up another brutal season of Trump versus the economy. Tune in next time to see if America can rebuild, or if we're stuck in a never-ending cycle of financial chaos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more satirical breakdowns and in-depth analyses. Your support helps us keep the conversation going.